When teens live with ongoing stress, the immune system and the body's stress response system could be impacted. It's important to consider how long the stress lasts, the subjective interpretation of the stress by each person. Some people are really impacted quite a bit, and others don't find some events quite as stressful. And then we also have to think about the support a person has to deal with the stress. When a person's body experiences a strong, stressful situation, our brains get our bodies ready for fight, flight, or freeze to respond. They do that by sending extra blood and oxygen to our vital organs and saving energy in other areas of the body. Teens may feel really tired and irritable after experiencing traumatic events. They may also experience weakness and tremors. They might complain of headaches, stomach aches. They might have changes in their appetites, and they may have a hard time sleeping just due to the emotional stress they're feeling. And then if you think about it, their emotional stress can lead to more physical distress as well. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm really preoccupied with something or I'm super nervous about something, I might end up almost making myself sick to my stomach. Teens might also experience nausea, rapid heartbeats, issues with bowel functioning, and a lot of teens experience this emotional stress that can lead to physical distress. When teens are tired or when they're about to do something that's stressful, whatever symptoms they have may get worse. For example, some teens may have more of these symptoms when it's time to go to school or to do something that they find stressful. They might be overly sensitive or undersensitive to sounds, smells, touch, or light. They may also become unaware of pain, touch, and things that they feel inside their bodies, almost like they just become numb. Then they might also complain of pain in different body areas, and professionals can't find the source of their pain. Every teenager, again, responds differently. Teens might also have elevated proteins in their brains, and there's one in particular called S100B. You see this after teens or people have a concussion or other head injury, and we're learning that you can also see that in teens who have emotional trauma. It might cause brain damage because of the inflammation in the brain. The high levels of stress hormones secreted when teens are stressed can not only cause inflammation in their brain, but it can throughout their body, and it can wreak havoc over time. If teens continue to have high levels of stress hormones over a longer period of time, there could be an increased likelihood of over 40 negative health conditions in adulthood. So this is something that we want to take care of, if at all possible, and help our teens find emotional relief from this stress. Because, another thing that can happen when a teen is experiencing a lot of extreme stress is that can lead to mental health disorders like anxiety and depression. The longer the trauma lasts and the earlier in a person's life that it begins, especially if that person doesn't have supportive adults to help buffer that stress, then the more likely they are to have negative outcomes. The symptoms come about due to changes in how the brain communicates with the body, and it's often triggered by the amygdala stimulating the autonomic nervous system to move into fight or flight or freeze mode. The amygdala may keep that calm down part of the brain, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. The amygdala might keep that system from firing. But we can actually do something about that. We can actively make the parasympathetic nervous system, our calm down system, begin to fire by breathing deeply in through our nose and out through our mouth. Something else we can do is to begin to pay attention to what we see around us. Listen closely to the sounds we might be hearing, to notice the smells, or, touch what our clothes feel like if we run our hand along them. If you touch your hair, run your fingers through your hair, notice what that feels like. And then really taste something. Pay attention to whatever it is that we taste. All these things are things that can calm our brains down and help them go from that fight, flight, or freeze mode to a more calm mode. For girls especially, and to a lesser extent, boys who have experienced ongoing conflict, harsh parenting, parental separation, and other adverse family environments, they're more likely to experience puberty earlier than those who've experienced warm, loving, and stable family relationships. Teens who have experienced ongoing trauma are more likely to engage in negative health behaviors like drinking, engaging in drug use or abuse, and unprotected sexual activity, which, all those things can risk their ongoing physical health and development. Lastly, teens are also more likely to experience ongoing emotional dysregulation, trouble concentrating, and suicidality when they've experienced traumatic events, especially if those events continue over time and that teenager doesn't feel like they are finding relief